If you're struggling to write that best-selling book or music album or that winning business proposal or that PhD paper, or pretty much achieve anything that's close to your heart, you won't need another guide than this video to bust through your blocks. If you don't nail the points that I'm about to touch upon, it's these very things that will keep you from ever finding your flow. See, peak performance is not a matter of luck. Science-based research shows that it comes down to your ability to get into the state of flow, also known as the zone, and be able to do so by choice and often. In this video, I'll share with you exactly what you need to do to have a breakthrough by getting into the zone, into the flow state. With what I'll reveal in this video, you'll even get the answers to a whole bunch of other questions that you might have. Things even like how to be consistent with your fitness regime or your meditation practice, or simply how to get your best work done. What I've learned about getting into the flow state is that it's as much about the things that you shouldn't do as it is about the things that you should do. I'll share with you exactly what you need to do and not do to enter the flow state, to actually get in the zone of your best creativity and optimal productivity. We'll look at what blocks flow and how you can actually achieve peak performance in any activity. I'll take the mystery out of flow and make it simple to achieve. And I'm not kidding when I say simple. In essence, it comes down to just 6 main things that you need to do to get in the zone. And if you'd like to understand in depth exactly what flow state or the zone are, because they are actually real states of our mind and in our brain, then check out another amazing video that I've made for you on that topic exactly. Let's get to it. As a high performance coach, I have helped many people over the years to find their flow and to get into their zone of high performance and creativity. Over the years, I'd had many experiences of being in the zone, and it was intuitive for me. It was very instinctual, but it was only when I committed to writing my first book that I realized something. Whenever I found my flow, it was accidental. To be honest, I didn't even know that it was possible to invoke flow when I wanted to, much less know how to do it. I just did it. I spent almost 2 years though trying to write my first book and struggled, hitting brick walls. And it wasn't until I found an actual method, a way to get in the state of flow, that I managed to make progress on the book. Once I found myself being able to get into the flow again and again, I just loved being there and I got hooked on it. It felt so incredible to be in that state that I wanted to stay there longer and longer and longer. And so I kept writing and writing and writing to stay there longer and longer. And when I finally finished, it turned out that I'd not written just 1 book, but actually 3. So, what exactly is flow? In a nutshell, it's when you experience being so fully immersed in what you're doing that you lose track of time, hunger, your worries, your concerns all fade away. You're absorbed with unwavering focus on what you're doing. It's when you're at your most productive, and yet it feels effortless. Easy, effortless, joyful action. It's a state of relaxed performance, says neuroscientist and athlete Brett Vingerie. Flow state is happy state, and it actually feels fantastic being there. Now, this is all true, but only once you become able to actually actively enter into the zone. But until you know how to activate flow and be able to do it again and again and again, it doesn't feel easy and effortless, and nor is it automatic. To get into the flow state and to hold that state from anything from 1 hour to 4 hours, you need to be able to stay focused and relaxed. And to do that, there are some prerequisites that you need to take care of before the actual act of getting in the flow. If you don't nail the points that I'm about to touch upon, it's these very things that will keep you from ever finding your flow. First and foremost, get clear about your goal and the outcome that you're working to get. If your goal is a large project, get clear about the specific steps that you'll need to take to fulfill on the overall project. For example, the idea of writing a book, a PhD paper, or mastering a new skill in your sport. Doing this in one go is just too overwhelming. It's also very abstract. So start with the end in mind and then break it down into manageable specific steps. It's like that old proverb, how do you eat an elephant? Well, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. And don't worry, I won't actually be eating any elephants anytime soon because I am a strict vegetarian. So, when you begin your task, it's about focusing on the individual step at a time. It's these little steps that will amount to accomplishing your overall goal. The paradox is that rather than constraining you, having a structure can actually free you up to be in the flow, meaning that you don't necessarily have to work on the steps sequentially. In the case of my books, for example, I knew all the various pieces that I wanted to put in, but I flowed with whichever piece was actually ready to emerge on that specific day, only to find that once everything was done, like the pieces of a jigsaw, the various parts that I'd written fitted perfectly into the overall flow of the books. It's important to be aware of the things that can block flow. Studies have found these things to be boredom, apathy, anxiety, worry, self-doubt, and self-criticism. So the second thing is to make your goal engaging. To do this, make it challenging. Be willing to go outside of your comfort zone, but still within the reach of your skills so that it's attainable. As Gene Nakamura, a positive psychologist and flow researcher, says, inducing flow is about the balance between the level of skill and the size of the challenge at hand. The third thing that helps is to figure out what your biological peak time or BPT is. This is the best time of the day for you to be productive. It's the time of the day when you're at your most focused and sharp. The fourth thing to do is to get your distractions out of the way. Silence your phones, email, social media, and so on. But distractions also come in the form of physical needs. So manage your self-care routines, things that help your physical well-being. Obvious things like managing your food, your drink, exercise, and any other non-negotiables in your routine so that they don't interfere with your flow. To achieve flow state, it's also essential to declutter your mind and emotions on a daily basis. When you have too much noise in your head, it's impossible to reach the flow state. You might find it helpful to go for a walk or a run or a swim or just shower to declutter your mind. Get to know what works for you. In this regard, I personally found two things invaluable. One is journaling for 20 minutes every day, just handwriting in my own journal, free flow, no censoring, no self-criticism. This helps me to clear my mind, feelings, and emotions so easily. The other is a simple breathing practice followed by sitting in meditation for just 10 minutes a day. This does wonders to calm my mind. If these are not already part of your daily self-care practice, I highly encourage you to give them a go. And if you enjoy listening to soothing guided meditations, I've recorded over 30 different meditations for all levels of meditator with around 100 different versions. Click on the links in the description of this video to listen to my guided meditations on platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Insight Timer, as well as download from my website, smitajoshi.com. Now that you've got your social, physical, and mental distractions out of the way, now that you've calmed your busy mind, it's time. It's time to activate flow. And you'll be amazed at just how simple it is to achieve focus and flow. The first thing is to find the best time of the day when you can focus most and find a place where you can work undisturbed. And then figure out how many hours you actually need to be in the flow to make substantial progress. Some people can manage 90 minutes to 2 hours. A block of 4 hours works wonders for me. I found that the chunk of time that you can devote is really important because it's the rhythm and momentum that you build that gets you on a roll. And once you're on a roll, that's how you sustain flow from one day to the next. The third thing to do then is to put on your noise cancelling headphones and listen to your favorite music playlist. Music that you love listening to on repeat, something that won't draw you out of your flow because you have to think about it. I sometimes just put on one song on repeat for up to 4 hours at a time and find that it helps me not just to focus, but to get me into that hypnotic state of altered awareness that can range from calm to excitement to extreme contentment. The fourth then is to tune into your breath. Slow it right the way down and repeat an inspiring statement, an affirmation, or a mantra that's really meaningful to you. Focusing on the breath and slowing it right the way down is a simple, fast, and effective way to enter the state of flow. This little ritual is also a cue to telling your brain that it's time to enter into the zone. Even the music that you play can signal to your brain to take you into that flow state. The final thing, the only thing that's left for you to do now then, is to actually flow into the zone, to crack on with today's steps and express your genius. If you find that you're losing focus often, then just take 5 minutes break doing something else that you enjoy. But remember, it can take up to 20 minutes to get your focus back. I find that a repetitive routine and a ritual really helps to create flow. In essence, it comes down to the 6 main things that you need to do to get in the zone. First thing to do is to clarify, get clear about your goal and the outcomes that you want to achieve and the various steps that will fulfill your goal. The second thing to do is to aim for the sweet spot between your challenge and the skill level that you have. The third thing to do is then to create a block of time and find a place that you like working at. Find the optimal time of day and an appropriate chunk of time that allows for flow and productivity, and be in a place that works for you. The fourth thing to do is to quieten your mind. The fifth thing is to focus on the step at hand. No pun intended. The sixth thing to do then is to flow into your zone and do your best work. If you'd like to put this into practice, I've made it really easy for you with a worksheet that I've created that simplifies this process. It's called How to Get in the Flow, and you can download it for free by going to smitajoshi.com/flow or by clicking the link in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, it would help me no end to improve my relationship with YouTube's algorithm if you could remember to like, comment, and share this video. And I would really love to know in the comments, what is your ritual to flow into the zone? In this video, I focused on the triggers and the process for achieving flow state. But if you'd like to understand the flow state in depth, the science behind the flow, how ancient philosophers saw flow, check out my other video that tells you all about those types of things. Go to my website, sign up for the newsletter, and download some beautiful gifts. Thank you for watching to the end, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.